Today on Teach Me How to Vegan, we've got a great recipes page. We like to focus on simplifying recipes.
Yes, yeah.
Because sometimes, and that's why I wanted to do this episode too, because sometimes you Google recipes and you find all these great recipes, but if there's more than 20 ingredients, my brain just freaks out.
Yes,
like I can't. Some of their food is the most amazing looking food I've ever seen.
Yeah, because we did their buffalo cauliflower wings
Oh,
one time.
yes.
That was from Hot for Food.
Yes.
And that's where we got the ranch, our ranch from.
Like restaurant quality.
Yes.
I mean, probably better than any cauliflower wings I've had at restaurants.
Yeah.
So another one that is, I think, pretty amazing.
Yes.
Is Nora Cooks.
Yes. I don't know who Nora is, but holy moly, how many times do I find myself on her website using her recipes?
Yeah.
Thank you, Nora.
Welcome to Teach Me How to Vegan,
a podcast where we explore how to switch to a vegan diet.
I'm Tony, a health educator, fitness instructor, and plant-based eating program manager for Animal Protection of New Mexico.
I'm Mickey, a stay-at-home homeschooling mom and vegan cook who likes to play in the kitchen.
Our family stopped eating meat in 2007.
And we went vegan in 2016. Now we like to share with others what we've learned.
Thanks for joining us.
Let's get started.
Welcome, everyone. As always, thank you for joining us. Today, we're talking all about where we find recipes. We're going to share some great resources and places to find recipes. Back in the day, it was all about cookbooks. Now, cookbooks are still a thing, but there's also some great blogs and websites that you can get some great recipes at. Real quick, before we dive in, I just wanted to say a friendly reminder, if you're not subscribed to the podcast, please subscribe.
Yes.
And please leave a review. That is a huge, tremendous help, even if it's just a smiley face. And also, I just want to throw in like a little disclaimer or
Reminder.
I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but to just don't forget about our previous conversations about recipes. Like, we're going to share great places to find wonderful recipes. But as we've also mentioned in the past, in previous episodes, it's also cool to just use the recipes you've always used.
Yeah.
And just make some substitutions. Usually it's like one or two things you have to swap out.
Yeah.
To veganize it. So I would recommend, if you haven't checked it out, revisit our episode titled How to Veganize Your Favorite Foods.
Yes. And that's the best starting point. Like, I feel like we can't stress that enough. You want to veganize your comfort foods, your fan favorites, like everything you go to when like you're stressed or quick and easy, you want to veganize those because you will fall back on them all the time.
Right. And I think it's important to use the same recipes you've always used for those go-tos because you want the same flavor.
Yeah.
You don't want to completely switch up all your spices and cooking techniques just because you're veganizing it. Just make a simple substitution or two.
Yeah.
And there you go. We also have a blog post on our website titled Plant-Based Subs and Swaps. So highly recommend checking that out. To help you get ideas about what to substitute for different types of meats and milks and eggs and cheeses and so forth.
Yep. Otherwise, there are some fan favorite websites.
Right.
I'm looking at this list. You got a good one.
Thanks. So starting off with our website, apnm.org. Of course, we will link all of these websites and any specific resources that we talk about. They'll all be linked in the show notes and on our website, so check that out. But yeah, our website, we've got a great recipes page with, it's what I like about it, not just that I created it, but it's categorized by meal because sometimes you're looking for a breakfast or a lunch or a side or a salad, a dessert, right? You want to get kind of specific. The other cool thing about it is that it's eclectic. What's the word I'm looking for?
Eclectic.
Eclectic? Okay.
Yeah. It's got a variety of recipes from all across the globe. All sorts of globally inspired recipes.
There you go.
Asian, Mexican, New Mexican, Italian, Mediterranean, Irish.
Right.
You know.
We've got some great traditional New Mexican foods that we eat here all the time. But like you said, there's inspiration from all over the place.
Yeah.
We did recipes for St. Patrick's Day, for example. So there's some Irish-inspired recipes on there.
Mm-hmm.
So just a wide variety if you like to branch out and try different varieties of foods.
And I would say probably everything on there is tried and true in this household.
Right. That's the other thing about it. Yeah.
Like these are like from our home. Most of those recipes have come out of our home.
Exactly.
Or been tried here and are pretty much everybody approved in our house. Like our kids too, right?
Yes.
Every recipe on there.
Yep.
Just about.
Yep. Kid tested, mother approved. Just kidding. Shout out to the 90s kids.
There you go.
And the other thing about it is we like to focus on simplifying recipes.
Yes, yeah.
Because sometimes, and that's why I wanted to do this episode too, because sometimes you Google recipes and you find all these great recipes, but if there's more than 20 ingredients, my brain just freaks out. Like I can't. Even if like 12 of them are spices, it just, my brain, like, I can't do it.
Yeah, that was how you were the first time you made spanakopita.
Yes, I was. It took me probably like 4 hours to make it. I was in the kitchen all day. and then I found a simpler recipe, and I've even simplified that.
Yeah.
So
like,
I should
no
just...
more phyllo dough.
No, I don't know. We don't play with that. And I should just write down my recipe, because what I do is I access that recipe, that spanakopita recipe, but I've already like in my mind modified it.
Yeah.
So that's like my reference, and then I do my modification, so it's easier.
And honestly, you really should put it out, because I've requested it every birthday and Mother's Day for like the last 2 years or so.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
And randomly, the boys will be like, "Can we have spanakopita?" So we should get that up.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that, because, like I said, if I can simplify something,
you're more likely to cook it, and you're more likely to go back to it over and over again.
Yep, because if it calls for an ingredient that you don't carry regularly, you're not gonna like. Well, personally, I don't want to have all these extra ingredients just in case I want to make that one thing.
Yeah.
Then I have to have 12 extra spices that I don't normally have, or other things that we don't normally buy.
And if you don't know, like if you're like, oh, it calls for, Italian seasoning, but I have, oregano, thyme, and parsley, that works. Those are in Italian spices, in Italian seasoning. So
exactly,
it's easy enough to go ahead and Google, like, substitute for oregano for something you have, if you don't have oregano, or if you don't have thyme or whatever. Go ahead and do that Google search, and it'll usually come up with a couple of options.
Yeah, that's a good point. And hopefully some folks have good relationships with their neighbors. You could just call your neighbor up and ask, hey, do you have some time?
Some THYME?
No, I don't need help with anything. I need some spice.
Yeah.
All right, so that's kind of our website. In a nutshell, like I said, wide variety. We've got eggs and quiche and
all sorts of things.
Fabulous stuff. So another one that is, I think, pretty amazing.
Yes.
Is Nora Cooks.
Yes. I don't know who Nora is, but
read her little bio.
But holy moly, how many times do I find myself on her website using her recipes?
Yeah.
Thank you, Nora.
And it's hard to say what her website is. She has pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Everything I've ever, I'm not going to say everything, but virtually everything I've ever searched for
has been on her website. Wow. Is it her original spanakopita recipe that you altered?
No, that one's not Nora Cooks.
Okay.
It's Live Kindly, I think, or something else, but she probably has a spanakopita. I'd be surprised if she didn't, because I'm always like, I want to make this type of cookie. Nora Cooks has it. Yep. I want to make a pumpkin spice latte. Nora Cooks has a recipe. I want to make. She's got it all.
Yeah.
And a lot of times when I just Google like vegan something recipe,
her site pops up.
Her site's one of the first ones that pops up, and it's not like wild list of ingredients,
right?
Which is what's cool about her website too. Nora cooks pretty simply.
Yeah, it really does. It's so good.
Yeah. So highly recommend, just if you're just, starting out or looking for ideas and inspiration, like browse her website and see all the wonderful things she has. So another great one that we like to look at is Hot for Food.
Yes.
Now this one is I think like Nora Cooks and our APNM website is like for the more simple type of person.
Yeah.
Hot for Food is like if you want to make the most amazing feast you've ever made.
Yeah, Hot for Food sometimes is a little more, it's a bit of a upgrade or a level up maybe from with some of the ingredients and some of the techniques and things you're doing and whatnot. However, they're worth it.
Right.
They're worth it. Like when you're ready, like they are worth it. Our ranch standard from Hot for Food.
Hot for Food, yeah.
Yeah.
And some people like that. They like to create
yes.
more intricate meals in the kitchen or more comfortable in the kitchen. That's your go-to if you want to do vegan food like that.
Yeah. And it's not, I would say it's not all like super fancy or it's not all more intricate or more involved. Not all the recipes are like that. They're all really delicious though.
They are.
Like really delicious. But I would also say that her website, Lauren Toyota's website, Hot for Food, is probably more, I don't want to say junk food-y, but more comfort.
Right.
More,
it's not like Whole Foods.
Yeah, it's not like a Whole Foods.
You're probably going to be using some vegan butter, some oil, flour. Like it's...
Yeah.
But it's more comfort food, like you said.
But yeah, because she has that, I don't even know what she calls it, that we get the eggy sauce from. It's like this bowl with like fried egg and biscuit and tempeh bacon and this egg yolky sauce. We call it eggy sauce. And that the egg sauce is now a standard in our house. But oh my gosh, it looks so delicious. But there's a lot of components to make.
Yeah, like you
then
make
put it together.
The bacon from scratch and you make the biscuit from scratch and you make the egg yolk from scratch.
Yeah.
And it's this, that's why I think, I get like intimidated when there's all that stuff to do.
Yeah.
But some people are into that.
Yeah.
Do it because that is like, some of their food is the most amazing looking food I've ever seen.
Yeah, because we did their buffalo cauliflower wings one time.
Yes.
That was from Hot for Food.
Yes.
And that's where we got the ranch. Our ranch from as well. Guess you liked that one.
They're so good.
Yeah.
Like restaurant quality.
Yes.
I mean, probably better than any cauliflower wings I've had at restaurants.
Yeah. And probably the other thing that's nice too is Hot for Food also has a YouTube channel. And so I think most of the recipes also have a video to them. So that if there's one part that you're just like, I'm reading this and it is not computing in my head, you can go to the video and watch the video. I've done that before too to help me. Oh, that's what you mean by that or something.
Yeah. So our fried egg recipe on our website is actually adapted from the Hot for Food.
Yeah.
So simplified version of their amazing thing.
Yeah.
All right. So another great one. This is actually a cookbook that we own.
Yes.
Which is called Sweet Potato
Oh my
Soul.
gosh. So
Love it because while sweet potatoes are like one of the most healthy foods on the planet, essentially, right up there with kale. From what I hear, anyway, that's what the word on the street is. Correct me if I'm wrong, dietitians.
But anyway,
this cookbook, like you can make so many things with sweet potatoes. Virtually, I think almost every recipe, or maybe every recipe, includes sweet potatoes.
Does it? I didn't even notice that. I don't know. That cornbread was on point. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, I don't think the cornbread used a sweet potato, but
there's sweet potato a lot, but it's not all sweet potato. It's very Southern soul food is what it is. It's a soul food vegan recipe book, and y'all, oh my goodness.
Yeah, so if you're looking for like, how do I make some amazing cornbread?
Yes.
Or a fabulous pecan pie.
Yes, the gumbo.
Right. So yeah, we made some gumbo with it.
Snaps for the gumbo man.
Oh, it was so good.
Yes.
You know, if you're looking for that type of inspiration. But
crab cakes are in there.
Crab cakes.
And
some
oh my gosh, greens.
This grits, like a dinner grits recipe. So, but I also think if you're looking for creative ways to add sweet potatoes to your diet or other vegetables, because it's also very vegetable
based,
heavy, and you could get all kinds of great ideas. Like there's a sweet potato pie smoothie. I never in my life would have thought to put a sweet potato in a smoothie.
Interesting.
And it's a simple recipe. So,
that sounds good.
Yeah, exactly. It's been like on the top of my mind, like I want to do this, and then I haven't done it. Because you have to like steam the sweet potato first.
And that's where food prep comes in handy.
Yeah, we used to be good at that. And I think if we had been doing that recently, I would have totally made sweet potato pie smoothies.
Yeah.
Because you know, sometimes we just steam all the sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
And then we have them in the fridge ready to go so you can
just do what you want with them.
Just do what you want with them.
Mm-hmm.
So I do recommend checking that out. She also has a website.
Yes.
And you can actually view a lot of the recipes on the website without purchasing the cookbook.
Okay.
But I do recommend purchasing the cookbook to support this wonderful business and person that's doing this. So another place that we've gotten a lot of great recipes from and a lot of our go-to ones is High Carb Hannah. Mm-hmm. Don't get scared away with the name.
Yep.
It's not like pure sugar and white flour.
No, it's not.
It's like vegetables.
It's like whole foods carbs.
It's whole foods plant-based.
Yeah.
Which tends to be a little heavy on the complex carbohydrates that are healthy and good for us.
Yes.
Like vegetables and fruits and whole grains. But we've gotten some really great recipes, like she has a cauliflower Alfredo sauce.
Oh my gosh, yes.
That we used to make pasta. It's so good.
Yeah.
And you get that creamy texture without it just being like oil, or fat or whatever Alfredo sauce is. Dairy,
it's
cream, I don't know.
Yeah, this is cauliflower, and it's a cauliflower base, and it's got some hemp seed in it as well to help give it that sort of creamy depth that Alfredo sauce typically has.
And then one of my favorite foods to make, like of all time nowadays, was from one of her recipes, which is corn chowder. We probably mentioned it a time or two.
Yeah, I'm sure we have
episodes, because anytime it's like mildly chilly outside, and
he's always like, corn chowder.
Because to me it's a comfort food and it's mostly whole foods.
Yeah.
It uses a can of full fat coconut milk, but you stretch that out between how many servings. So it's pretty much whole foods, plant-based, and it's comfort food. So how could you possibly go wrong with that? I want to eat that every day.
Yep.
And then she has an ebook called Let's Get Saucy.
Yep.
With tons of different sauce recipes.
It's literally just all sauces. And lately I've been making the hummus that's in there, and everybody is loving it in the house. That's where the hummus is from.
Yeah, and is it oil free?
Yes, it's oil free.
I was blown away. How did you make hummus so good with no oil?
Yeah, it's got, so it uses a can and you don't drain it.
That's the trick. You keep the aquafaba.
You keep the aquafaba. So I'm sure you could make whole chickpeas in like, crock pot, Instant Pot, whatever, and just use some aquafaba and tahini and spices, lemon juice. I think that's it. It's very simple. It's really good, and the boys really, really like it. So that's exciting. But there's all sorts. There's like sweet dips for fruit. There's ranch, tzatziki, all sorts of stuff. It's a good ebook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she has a YouTube channel, so you can just like people who are into YouTube and check out the videos.
And there is a website as well if you don't want to like rummage through some of the videos, because she has a lot of videos. She's been YouTubing for a long time. But there is a website, and you can search the website as well.
There you go. So another good one. We've been talking a lot about like comfort food and like veganizing foods that we grew up with in the standard American diet. But if you're looking for whole food recipes, whole food plant-based recipes, the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine is a really great gold mine of recipes.
Yeah.
For whole food plant-based. You can go on their website, and it's just like countless recipes. And what I like about their website too is you can use their search engine to find whatever you're looking for. So for example, I just typed in pancakes, and there was 4 different pancake recipes that came up. Nice. And then, of course, with that, you can do your own variations, like throw whatever fruits in you want. But I was just like, wow, 4 different pancake recipes, and so that's just one example. There's anything you're looking for, you can search for. So another really great place for the whole foods plant-based recipes, or for, on the healthier side, is Nutritionfacts.org. They do have tons of different,
because they have the
quote unquote Dr. Greger approved recipes.
They have the How Not to Die cookbook as well. And I think there's a How Not to Diet cookbook that came out, so there's some whole foods options there. And I think Oh She Glows is another one that is really pretty popular. And I think that's mostly, her stuff is mostly whole foods, plant-based also. There's all sorts of, these are just a few. Minimalist Baker has a lot of vegan stuff. Some of it is pretty simple, and some of it is, has more components to it. So, this is just a tiny, tiny sampling of what's out there. Of course, if you have a site that you absolutely love that you would like for us to check out, or you want to share with each other, definitely, post that.
Yeah, we'd love to hear where your go-to sites are. And we'll definitely mention them, do like a follow-up in a future episode, just, other people's favorite sites to go to. But, I just wanted to start people off because sometimes people are like, where do I go?
Yeah.
And there's so many blogs and so many resources. So, what are some of our favorite ones?
Well, and the other thing I want to point out too is how we even found Nora Cooks. I would either Google a recipe for something, or I'd be on Pinterest looking for a recipe for something. And I noticed that, oh, wow, a lot of recipes are coming back in my search from this website, Nora Cooks. And then everything we had tried from there, because, this looks manageable and reasonable for either my time or what I have on hand or what it calls for. And we would use it again and again, and it was delicious. So that's how we found that. I think, another one that I found that way is it Tastes Like Chicken?
Oh, yes.
Tastes Like Chicken website, because that's where I get the green bean casserole recipe from for the holidays, and the base gravy. And there's all sorts of recipes there too. So sometimes as you are just doing sort of, once you feel like, okay, I can just sort of throw my request out into Google because that return is going to be sometimes a little intimidating. As you do that a couple times, if you find the same kind of website, the same website coming up for all these different recipes, and you've liked what you've cooked from there you go.
That becomes your new go-to.
That becomes a good standard option for you.
Yeah, and then you'll find some one-offs at different recipes or different sites. Like, for example, the Spanakopita one, I never go there for other recipes, but I just bookmarked to that one.
Yes, yeah.
Because that's my one thing.
Yeah. Well, and the other one for us like that was the ricotta.
Yeah.
That I found. And the tofu ricotta. And we've used that consistently ever since because it's so easy and it was so simple. And it was on it's on the PBS website.
Yeah, I was going to say it's totally not a vegan website or even a recipe website. I know. When you sent it to me the first time, I was like, that's so random. I imagined it was a vegan chef website or something. It was like some PBS thing.
Yeah.
So we bookmarked that and have that. So I would also recommend you create your own resource. I think we talked about this too in an earlier episode about, steps you can take, creating your own resource for recipes. Whether it's digital or physical, we like physical stuff. So we genuinely have a binder in our kitchen that is full of recipes.
That
some of them
printed.
Are printed out. Some of them are handwritten, which I think that's the gold because years from now, our grandkids find handwritten recipes that you wrote. Yeah. Or you know what I mean?
Those the little index cards that you find from your grandma and you're just like, oh, look, it's so great. That's that nostalgia for you. You're totally,
So you're carrying that on. Our biscuits recipe, it's handwritten. And then we have the Let's Get Saucy ebook in there.
Yeah.
So and then next to that little binder, we have our sweet potato soul cookbook.
Yeah.
And so it's just, our own little resource. And I think it's really great for everyone to create your own.
Yeah. If you find a recipe that you're going to all the time and you're just, you can have it bookmarked, but I wanted chocolate chip cookies one day and I just texted it to our eldest kid and was like, can you make these? It's a good skill to have to know how to make chocolate chip cookies. He just bookmarked it in the phone. But we've talked about printing it out so that we have it. You know what I mean? So that anybody can access it. It doesn't have to be digital. You can just say it's in the purple binder, because it's a purple binder in our kitchen.
Yeah.
And I think that's really helpful too, because then you don't have to remember the website or, you know.
Right. That's also a cool thing about the recipes on our website is we created them so that they print out beautifully on one page.
Yeah.
And you could print all of them and make a book out of them.
Right.
We left a little blank space on the left so that if you stapled it together or something, you can still.
There's binding options. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's a good thing too, is most of these things we've talked about, they have a little link to print recipe, and then it brings it up like a PDF or something that's not messy to print.
Sometimes I'm more into printing those recipes because it's very easy, because I have Pinterest, and it is, and I have Pinterest. Like, once you get started, it is just too easy to save. And then sometimes it becomes a little bit hard to find the recipe you're looking for. You have to remember like the key word that is in its description or in its title so that you can search your pins for it. And if you have thousands upon thousands, like somebody in this house does, sometimes the digital version is a little easier to get more cluttered. So if you are just, I am constantly going to this ricotta recipe, this spanakopita recipe, I'm just going to print it so I have it here and I don't have to rummage in my Pinterest for it. Maybe that's a little old school. Maybe other people are better at their digital clutter than and their Pinterest boards than, you know, someone here. Great. I'm so excited for you. But that's where we are anyway.
Yeah. And it might be like a personality thing or a generational thing. Yeah. Some people are amazing with their digital stuff.
Yeah.
And they'll create something on some site that's like beautiful.
Yeah. I think I get overzealous in my ambition of wanting to try new things. And, this looks great. I want to try it. Save. And then I don't ever go back to it.
And it takes so much less effort to just click save or click pin or whatever you click than to like click print and print it out and get the paper and put it in your binder. And then, so anyway, the bottom line is like create your own resource, bring your book together, binder, folder, whatever it is. And then you've got your own go-tos.
It's like your own personalized cookbook.
Exactly. Yeah. I think everybody needs that in their life.
Yeah. So
awesome. All right. So hopefully we gave you some ideas, some inspiration. I know we only covered a small handful of resources, but there's so many out there. We could take hours and hours. And then again, that's too much. Like too much info is overwhelming and not helpful. So we just wanted to give a few, get you jump started, find your niche, create your own book.
Resource.
And get going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us, as always, and we will see you next time. Thanks for joining us. We release new episodes every 2 weeks. You can always email us at plantbased@apnm.org. Check out our website, apnm.org/plantbased for classes, recipes, and more resources.
See you in 2 weeks.